know anything. But
Good morning. Good morning.
we have to do this a little early today because I have to go to the chiropractor's at 10:30 this morning. Old man-itis is what it is. Itis is if it's a disease. Syndrome is if it's in your
his
head.
Yeah, so old man syndrome.
Ouch. It's in my foot. So does that count?
I'm not sure.
So I think a few things have changed again, but really everything is the same. So in the US and Canada, you're starting to have people get angry. Like, oh my gosh, it's going to destroy the world if these people go and do things that they want to do. Because people are cowards and fear-filled beings. And that is how the media and the governments control us.
Hey.
It's kind of true. I was 13 when I realized this, by the way. And that's kind of why these slings have nothing to do with me. They kind of bounce off of me. And I like to cause fear. Ask Christie.
So do I.
She does. She absolutely does.
Yet he still talks.
And I do. So I guess we could talk about kind of how we met. Because there are people that don't really know that story. I mean, we've been together now, married over 31 years, and together since I was 16. How nuts is that? I mean, it was October 31st, 1988, when I walked into 1986, when I walked into Chuck E. Cheese, and I never even talked to her. She was dressed in costume.
And sick.
Derek
So
Barry
sick.
was there with me, and we were applying for a job.
On Halloween, who does that?
I know. It was so crazy. So we went and applied for the job at Chuck E. Cheese. And when we left, I said to Derek,
Good morning, Monica.
On our way home, I'm going to marry her. And he's like, no, I'm going to marry her. Like, no, dude, I'm serious. I'm going to marry her. He's like, no, I'm going to marry her. So it was, I went home.
I love Derek to this day, but he's like this tall.
Yeah.
He's a little shorter than I am.
So I went home, told my mom I met the girl I'm going to marry. And, it's one of those things where I started working at Chuck E. Cheese. And
I know the story.
She wouldn't say yes to me. I mean, I think I asked her like 2 or 3 times.
To go steady.
So I dated another
Rose.
girl in the middle of this. So yeah, and she was awesome. She really was. I wish I could remember her name.
She must have been awesome.
No, it was Danielle
she
or
knew
Daniela.
John liked me.
She did? She's like,
and yet still dated him. What a
yeah.
silly thing.
So here we are now. Oh, then I said, and I think I said this on Facebook, was, we went to the Dolphin Tank at West Edmonton Mall.
Now, this is 2 years later, not anytime soon. It took him a long time to win me over, I will tell you.
Yeah,
he was 2 years younger than me.
When she was 18 and I was 16. Mm-hmm. That's kind of when you're that age, a big discrepancy. So we went to West Edmonton Mall at the Dolphin Tank, and we were talking. I'm kind of like, I suppose we should get married if we're going to live together. And she's like, yeah, I guess. So then we said,
very romantic. It was really right here.
Let's get married on October 31st, 1988. Not thinking that there were people that could have a problem with being married on Halloween.
And it's not because we celebrated Halloween like that and wanted to do something crazy on Halloween. It's just because it was the day that we met.
Yep.
Well, there was a lot of not happy people. So I won't name any names, Mom and Dad. And so we decided to not get married on Halloween. Obviously, we got married in December.
December 3rd, 1988.
It was a beautiful, Alberta is cold.
It was snowing.
But it was, that white crisp. Oh, it was just lovely. I just remember that. Although my friend, Trudy, had John go get a haircut just before the wedding. He looked like one of the leftover Beatles.
It was pretty rough.
It was awful.
Almost like a bowl cut.
So he goes from a mullet to a bowl cut.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I was not impressed.
She wasn't.
But I looked good, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so then after the wedding, We went to I think the Terrace Inn.
That was our wedding night.
Yeah, and I had a thing with champagne, and I passed out.
He had a reaction, not a thing.
I had a reaction.
It does not like he had so much champagne he got drunk. He had a sip and had an allergic reaction and had to go to sleep.
Now, I can't remember. Did I go to work the next day or was it the day after that?
It would have been the day after.
Yeah, because we didn't do a honeymoon or anything. I mean, we were kids.
We were poor.
Poor kids. So, yeah. And that's how we met and fell in love.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is so crazy that it was over 31 years ago. I have such a difficult time in my mind around this. Because when I was a kid's 30th birthday and thinking, golly, that's old. 30 is old. But I got married over 30 years ago, which means that obviously I was alive for the time in between there. And we've had children and we moved to Mexico.
And we have grandbabies
that live in Mexico.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So what's up today, honey?
Well, John, I have to take John to the chiropractor because, of course, he can't drive with his fat foot.
No.
But that's not what he's going to the chiropractor for. He's going to the chiropractor for his hips because they're out. Partly it's probably because of walking on the crutches and because he's been to the chiropractor a few times in the last little while. So we're doing that. And then there's a couple of young guys that are coming over this afternoon or late morning. And they're going to help me because we had bought, when John was still feeling good, over a week ago, bought a bunch of plants at the little lot at Mega. And if I don't plant them soon, like it's some herbs and stuff, they're going to die.
But they're real herbs, not the herbs.
So I'm getting these boys to come and help me today. We're going to plant them in these stand-up planters that Sam sells, which are awesome. They're not self-watering, but you water them and it has a reservoir underneath. And thanks, Monica. There's so much more to that story. Oh, one thing he didn't say. So at the hotel, the Terrace Inn at the time, and I don't know what it looks like now, but it was kind of open in the middle, and that's where their restaurant was. And so I'm still in my wedding dress. Oh, there's something sharp on here. I'm still in my wedding dress, and I go to shut the drapes so I can change because already my husband's passed out on the couch or on the bed.
This is what it looked like.
Something like that, yeah. And well, there's a bunch of cowboys. There's some kind of convention down there. So they saw this woman in a wedding dress, and there were some comments.
Boots and hollering.
Yeah. So I
y'all
quickly shut the curtains.
All y'all.
I don't think we went down to breakfast the next morning. Oh, we would have. They had a really good brunch there.
So, Rose, I've got a whole bunch of moringa trees, kind of adding shade to our house. And
yeah, because Rose might not know that we moved from the house that they would have known us in when they first bought.
Yeah.
And now we're in another house. So we took some cuttings from those trees at that house and we planted them here to give us, because we're right on a corner. So we've given us some privacy, I guess, because we have really nice, big, beautiful, like this one here behind me. They're about 7 feet across. So we have big, beautiful windows in here, but we're right on the street. So we wanted some privacy and of course the health benefits.
The health benefits. And I also have a neem tree, and we've got a starfruit tree, the yucca tree,
pomegranate,
the more bananas.
We have the
guanabana,
strawberry guanabana, which are starting to grow now.
Strawberry guanabana, no, it's
guayaba.
Yeah,
we have a guanabana tree plus a guayaba tree. Yeah,
and the papaya, and then a bunch more bananas.
And then we also have 2 fig trees.
Yeah,
and we just bought 2 moringa trees. Yeah, plants.
Moringa trees, no,
not moringa. Sorry. Maracuya, passion fruit. Passion fruit,
yes. And I made a lot of cuttings from the passion fruit as well, because Christie really likes passion fruit.
And so, Rose, in answer to, and John's not drinking nearly enough of this, but he took, I don't know, we had a big 8-foot plastic table set up in the kitchen. He cut off, I don't know how many branches off those trees, And that's pretty, I mean, he's had some of this, but
Yeah,
he dries it, and so look how green that is, you guys. Like, that's fresh moringa in here. Dried, fresh moringa.
That really...
Is it still fresh when it's dried? No. It was fresh when we picked it. Well, next time you guys are down, Rose, let us know. We can bring you some.
Yeah. The moringa really is, it's a very strong, spicy flavor. Incredible antiviral, antibacterial benefits. So it really is a magic fruit or
and
tree.
It's got so many so many like nutrients in it. So it's really good, really, really good.
Yes. So
I don't like the flavor of it though.
Yeah, if you really need to, it's spicy. It's very spicy.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste.
Yeah, in India, one of the tree names is the horseradish root tree. Because when you cut into the roots, it tastes like horseradish. It is an amazing tree.
Yeah, and it even does that burn up your nose like horseradish does.
You can make so many things out of these trees. Yeah. Why would you get me started on this? Because it is a magical tree.
Yep.
So what else do we have to chat about? There's just this whole stinking thing of everybody's reactions and stuff.
So don't chat about it.
Well, no, I think it's important to know that this is not nearly as bad as what people are saying. Just leave the bubble. I think it's 90% of all news is owned by 6 or 8 corporations. That's it. 90% of everything, which is why it's always the same message. But if you go outside of your creature habits and go to these other news groups, you will find real news.
Oh, so here I'm looking. So Jeff is also on. Good morning, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
It's no longer the terrace. The hotel.
Oh, the terrace.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called anymore, but. And then Terry, we never got any from you. We did get some at the Little Bee, though. Shay is watching.
So, yeah, this is going to be a very interesting time because you've got all of these people who are now drug addiction and drug addicts and killing themselves. You've got all of these people who are causing themselves real harm. You've got spousal abuse, family abuse. All of these things that have gone up, and people are like, yes, but the COVID. And then I found out whenever you incent behavior, good or bad, you will get more of it. Well, what they're saying is that the people who put COVID on the death certificate get an extra 20% bonus. So it turns out everybody in New York is dying from COVID. Everybody.
I don't know if any of you saw my little thing this morning. But
so yes, when you incent behavior, good or bad, you'll get more of it.
Hey, I was just talking there.
Sorry. Oh, it just drives me bonkers.
I know. You're getting yourself really worked up here, and it's not good for you.
I'm really not getting myself worked up.
I think you are. So this morning I posted a little thing I saw. Remember, John, they won't even check. And it says, be good to your spouse. Remember, right now they could poison you, and it would be counted as a COVID death.
Oh my gosh, he's right. I could have stabs.
Oh, I've already had a bunch of people like that one. They know you.
In my back, the knives would be in there, and they're like, COVID. It has to be COVID. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're even now, Christie went into Vallarta the other day, Sunday, and they told you had to wear a mask in your car.
I was alone.
By herself.
In my truck. Okay, I was going to pick up that barbecue for John, which will be set up today with those boys helping and Zach. And they when you're coming into Vallarta, they stop you. And they're like, okay, you need to wear your mask. And he says, in Jalisco, you need to wear your mask in all the public areas. And I said, I know. And I showed it. I was sitting
at yourself.
It was sitting on the. I'm so beautiful this morning.
You are beautiful.
It was sitting on the console beside me. And he says, well, you know what? You need to wear it even in your car. And I said, but I'm alone in my car. He says, I know. So he says, put it around your ears and then just hold it under your chin. And that way if you need to be able to put it up really quickly, you can. So basically he's telling me that if there was any other police, and there were a couple of more quasi stops, right? They were obviously pulling people over that weren't not wearing their masks. I had mine up enough that they probably figured that it would be okay. But silliness. I get it in the stores. They want people to do it, and they're so hot, you guys, but to be in my car alone, so I just had the air conditioning cranked up.
So we're in the vehicle the other day, and I see a taxi. They have these combi vans. They're kind of, I think, Volkswagen vans. They take about a dozen people. So you've got the taxi driver and then the people. So it's like a bus taxi kind of thing. And in there, that says you must be wearing a mask. So the driver has the mask under his chin. It's not covering his mouth. It's not covering his nose.
Yeah, it's under his chin.
But
also,
on the side, it says you must wear a mask.
Yeah, they have it written on the sides of their vehicles.
So you have all of these people taking taxis and buses and all of these things, yet you can't go to the beach because COVID.
Okay, this is something nice. A friend of mine, Larry McLaughlin, Larry McLaughlin, right? Yeah. It says, if today gets difficult, remember the smell of coffee, the way sunlight bounces off a window, the sound of your favorite person's laugh, the feeling when a song you love comes on, the color of the sky at dusk, and that we are here to take care of each other. That really everybody needs to remember, because that is just awesome.
Yeah.
Good morning, Leslie.
Just get rid of our bureaucrats. Vote everybody out. Vote them all out.
Honestly, everybody gets, like my husband, gets so grumpy, and no, he's not really getting grumpy, but everybody's, and everybody gets so mad. Like, you say something that someone doesn't agree with, it's like,
how dare you not think the way I do? How dare you?
They get really grumpy, and it's,
I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm going
you.
to unfriend you. I'm going to
you.
delete you. I'm going to cancel your culture.
Wow, cancel your culture.
Yeah, people are weird now. Good morning, Glenda. It's just people are weird. So this is kind of why I like living in Mexico. I mean, it's very frustrating at this moment in time, but I do love living here because people actually usually say what they think and believe, blah, blah, blah. Unless, of course, they're like, you can't say that. How dare you? We have a lot of friends that do that.
Just to John, though.
I've been unfriended by the most...
Restaurants are opening, yay!
By the most...
In Texas. The
most tolerant people ever. And I know they're the most tolerant people because they've told me how tolerant they are. So good news, Glenda. Restaurants are opening. That's fantastic. So where else in the world are restaurants opening? Well, we've got Suka here.
Suka is here. Actually, we are going this afternoon. We're meeting with some clients that want to talk about some real estate. So we're going to meet with them. They ended up staying because they were here on vacation and had the ability to be able to stay. So they decided to stay here instead of going back home and quarantining themselves and freezing.
Yeah, that's rough.
So
cancel. Yes, absolutely. But the fun thing about the cancel culture is they're canceling each other now. It has gotten so crazy and so diverse. So what they say is okay, you disagree with this, so I'm going to disagree and cancel you. But here is how it works now, that if you don't belong to tea drinkers who like chamomile, tea drinkers who like chamomile and like dogs, and you keep going down, is that we constantly become individuals. The more we like things that are not the same as others or whatever. We're all individuals. So we can all think different. We can all say different things. And we need to get along, folks, because if we don't, it's going to be like when I was a kid and we learned about communist Russia, it's going to be just like that. It's already started in so many ways. There's a great guy on YouTube. I wish I could, Yuri somebody, from the 80s, back when Reagan was president, giving talks about what you must do to destroy nations. It's all happening right now. So it is, and it doesn't matter left or right, because the bad guys are everywhere now. And they control these guys. It is what it is.
Wow.
That's why.
Stop. This is early still.
I love getting up and waking up and seeing the sun.
I live in a cinnamon bread bubble.
And
at a grocery
yes.
store. Good morning. Oh, just wait. What are you saying? They've closed parking lots? Oh, parking lots to parks.
Yeah,
but you can
that's
go.
crazy.
But you can park at a grocery store. Yeah, they're not blocking you from going to the grocery store, although they only want one person per family. My friend has a 10-year-old, and so when she's here in Buceria, she'll leave her daughter home. But when she goes into town, she doesn't want to leave her daughter home. Well, she went to Costco also on Sunday, and Costco gave her a really hard time. And so I don't know if she's going to risk it again. Home Depot will not let children in. They will not let two people. Home Depot won't let two people from the same family in. A friend of mine posted a little thing. She says, so 88 people can be in a Home Depot, but you can't have a church service?
Yes, there's so much going on here on so many
Penny.
levels. Hi, Penny. There are so many different things being shown here.
Yeah.
So it's just
and
you
Jonathan.
have to open
Good morning,
your mind.
Jonathan. How are you this morning?
Good day.
Your nephew is watching.
Okay, grand. Hello, Jonathan. So yeah, just expand your mind and think bigger than you think you can, because I know you can.
Yeah, I'm just looking and seeing if nobody else is actually posting, or on that I have not mentioned. I don't think. If I do not see you again, it's just because I have to look at every. This shows who's chatting and who's actually saying something.
But Jeff doesn't show up here.
But Jeff doesn't show up on this feed for whatever reason. I don't understand.
We have no idea.
And Jeff is coming in from, I think, yours. Let me check. Yeah, Jeff is coming in from the one that is on your page. But Terry's comments come in on the same page, because we've got morning, Jan and Rod. My mind is as big as it possibly could be. Maybe it's just your head.
I believe you, Rod.
That's my brother, Rod. Yep.
So, morning, Bob and Jen.
How's the family, Rod?
Cognitive dissonance. Absolutely. And you can't even tell these people the truth, because they're so convinced that black is white. You can come in, you can have pie charts, and they just can't grasp it.
We must be just blocking Jeff's feed. Maybe that's what it is, because everybody else's comments from that page is showing up.
Huh.
Including my brother's. Good morning, Colleen. She's here as well.
Sorry, Jeff. We've got you on block.
I don't know why, Jeff. It's not showing. Your comments don't show up. I don't understand that. That's weird.
Yeah. So we want you to just be kind to one another. And when people are doing stupid things...
Good morning, Alvin. I'm not going to say any disparaging remarks about males today.
Just love everybody. And
not that they were disparaging. They were true.
They were true. So yeah, just choose to love everybody. And, just don't delete anybody. Don't do anything unless they're really annoying.
You can't do that. Now is not the time. Actually, honestly, you guys, now is the time that everybody should be as tolerant as they can, because people are hurting. People are scared. There are some people that actually believe everything that the news tells them.
If it leads, it bleeds.
And
if it bleeds, it leads.
And we know people are dying. We're not poo-pooing this. You guys, you have to understand that we're not making fun of all this. Generally, when there's a sickness, it's the sick people that get quarantined, not everybody. And so they're going to tell us that it's flattening the curve, and this is what has done it, so it's not as bad as what everybody says it has been. But maybe it wasn't really as bad as everybody said it was in the first place. And they're just kind of blowing things out of proportion. I know a lot of people complain because Mexico doesn't have the stats. They don't have they're saying that so few people are getting sick and so few people are dying from it. People are dying wherever. In the United States and some of these other countries, every death is a COVID death. Every death. Unless, of course, they were shot and obviously.
And over 99% of the people that are dying from this have some other underlying condition.
Some they don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that get sick don't know that they're deficient. I mean, zinc, vitamin D, those are two huge. Vitamin C, those are three things. Those are three things that are very, very important to keep up your health against any virus. Magnesium is another one. Most people are so deficient in these that they don't even understand. They have no way of knowing because it's not testable. So you have to keep it up. You have to keep up the vitamin D, the vitamin or the magnesium and the potassium and the zinc. Yeah. You're going to make a coffee. Yeah. I just finished mine's Rod, whoever you are.
Hers had a little bit of alcohol in it. Yesterday, I went out in the backyard. I didn't go up the stairs because I'm too much pain. But Christie set up the chair for me out there, and I just sat in the sun because I haven't been in the sun for probably 2 weeks. So it was well needed. So hopefully that will help increase my vitamin D level. Apparently 20 minutes in the sun is all you need in Mexico. Now, I mean, in Edmonton, you probably need 6 days. To get the same amount of sun as 20 minutes in Mexico because you're up so far north and that stuff. So yeah, but it was great to sit in the sun. So sit in the sun this week. Sit in the sun today, unless it's raining where you are. Then
there's no sun, so you wouldn't be sitting out there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, it's as bad as they say. I talked with Matt's dad and his girlfriend daily in Madrid. We don't get it bad here. We are to consider ourselves fortunate.
Yes, we agree. It would not be good that it would get bad here. But on the other hand, there's a lot of people that don't have money for food because everything is shut down. There is we don't get 6 days of warmth in Canada or in Edmonton. Yeah, that's right. It's really hard to pick when we're going to go for summer holidays in Edmonton because, Rod, they will not admit they're wrong because there's an agenda the government is following.
It is, you know what? It's hard not to see some kind of conspiracy. Something else is going on here, folks. So just be kind to one another and wash your hands and don't touch your face. Yeah.
And
people touch your face.
I'm going to be the one that says that we have to sign off because it's almost 20 after. John's really moving slowly. It'll take me about 20 minutes to get him into the car and his appointment's in 10 minutes. So thank you guys for joining in. Thank you very much for all the comments. And again, really just remember, be nice to each other. Appreciate the time that we do get to spend with our families.
Yep, absolutely.
And help support the food banks and all of these other places, these places that are doing the meals for 5 pesos. I know La Fuente Church is asking for people. So they're doing 2 things. They're feeding people. They're also asking people to bring recyclables. So they're also cleaning up. And then the Amigos de Bucerias is coming to collect the bins. So, there's a lot. I know Luna Lounge is doing a dinner on Mondays or a lunch or whatever it's called on Mondays for people that are out of work. There's so much going on. So pick someone to help. If you can send some money, if you can buy some food, if you can get your mask and gloves and go out and help someone, or feed a neighbor if they're hungry. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do anything huge. Make a meal for someone that is out of work. Some of our neighbors here are out of work. Make a meal for them. Bring them some food.
Wow. All right, guys. Have a fantastic day.
And it's not a dreaded appointment. It's for his hips and stuff. So he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Thanks, guys. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Bye.
Oh, it's Tuesday.